Klaus, is Ben here?
No, unfortunately, ghosts can't time travel.
Are you kidding me?
Justin, I mean, I love that we get to see more of Ben this season, of course, and I think it's interesting because we are largely learning about who he is as he's bouncing off of Klaus, you know, as kind of a reflection of him. Is Klaus the right fit for him?
Yeah, I feel like they're yin and yang, you know. People like Ben, who in many ways is similar to me, a bit more reserved, a bit more shy, need people who are as vibrant and as hilarious as people like Klaus in their lives to sort of spice things up. So yeah, I think even as children, Ben and Klaus had a lot of fun together, and fortunately for Ben, Klaus is the one who can bring him back and see him.
And there's a little lesson in there for any of you Republicans and Democrats listening or watching. See, you guys need each other. You know, it's push and pull. You know, you're the yin to the other's yang. Just accept it.
Huh, interesting parallels there. Did not put that together initially, but
there you go. See, the Ben and Klaus relationship.
Yeah,
it's a whole allegory for modern American politics.
Modern politics, yeah.
Presidential posters now.
We brought the end of the world back here with us.
Oh my God, again? My cult is going to be so pissed. I told him we had until 2019.
We have until Monday.
The Klaus and Ben arc is like my favorite of the season, and Robert, I mean this in the best way possible, but this role of like an enigmatic cult leader suits you pretty well.
I'll take that as a compliment, yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a compliment. Were you surprised about the direction that the show went with Klaus this season?
I just said, you know what, Steve, let's make him more like Jesus. And lo and behold, me and Steve had talked a fair bit between seasons, sort of throwing ideas around about, you know, Klaus being at his most interesting when he's kind of at that turn of change, when he's sort of in the process of transformation into something else, which is very vague language for saying that he's sort of a chimera of a creature. If he's sort of resting anywhere for too long, he sort of starts to spin and is looking for his next incarnation, you know, which always, I think, feeds his ego to some, you know, definitely our Klaus is somewhat of a narcissist. So I was like, a cult lead, you know, we were like a cult leader could well be a really like legit, especially if we're doing the 1960s. You know, that would be a very, very kind of obvious way to kind of go with Klaus. Like, I mean, it's surprising if he didn't end up a cult leader, you know, like Jesus.
Right. Justin, would you join Robert's cult?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
No. Well, you wouldn't necessarily get an invitation, you hear me?
Oh, there it is.
You have to subscribe like Netflix, the cult of Netflix.
Oh, there's like a monthly fee. Yeah.
$10.99 a month. You see, that's where Jim Jones and them other lads went wrong. You see, they wanted all the money up front.
I love the running joke. It's kind of just slyly revealed that, you know, Klaus is using a lot of song lyrics to to win over followers. Is there a musician or artist or even specific song that you can think of that you're like, yeah, I love that. I would devote myself to that musician fully?
Ooh, devote myself. Well, I wouldn't devote myself to anything fully. Who, musician-wise? You know, I've been into a lot recently is Fela Kuti. That guy was pretty amazing. And but he had enough devotees in his day. He had 28 wives. But he was quite something else when it came to music making. He was quite something else. So, you know, he'd be worth following around, going to his gigs, being a groupie, definitely.
And we're almost out of time, but Justin, for you?
Gerard Way, obviously.
Yeah.
Probably follow him as well with that.
Yeah, why not? The Pied Piper.
Yeah. I'd lead you into a cave and then put you in a sack and just, like, the old rat problem.